Okay, I can see the chats now. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, everyone. Good evening, guys. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Ranjan, Vikas, Drishri, Manas. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, and welcome back to the last day of HTML and CSS Essentials, where we're going to do some like flexboxing, and after that, we are going to build a really cool web page by like using all the things that we have learned. So, good evening once again, everyone, and welcome back to the last day of HTML and CSS Essentials. And so sorry for the last day's cancellation. I was having a power cut because right now like there's a lot of rain pouring down in Mumbai. So I'm so sorry for that. Okay. And yes, don't worry, Jita. From 6th, we are starting with JS and I'll be taking that. So don't worry about it. Okay. Okay. So guys, are we ready? Are we excited for today's session, everyone? Because today is the last session of HTML and CSS Essentials. So you guys tell me, are we ready? Are we excited? Because we're going to see two things. First, I'll show you like how to work with flexboxing so that it will be a lot easier for you to make layouts. And after that, we'll move ahead directly to the project. Okay. And yes, guys, also one more thing. I'm not going to go like too deep in flexbox because like we also have to make a project, so we're not going to use all our time. So we'll just take like 10 to 15 minutes session on flexbox. So I'll just give you the basics of it that you need to understand right now, and after that you can use that as a kickstarter and you can like learn the next properties of flexboxing on your own. But don't worry, I'm going to give you the fundamentals of flexboxing and how it works and how to build layout using that. So don't worry about it. We're going to learn about the 60% of the flexbox properties and the fundamentals, and after that the next properties you can learn by your own. It's not at all problem. Okay, everyone. Okay, so let's get directly into the basics of flexboxing, and after that we'll directly move ahead to the project. Please do make a proper project, sir. Yes, I'm trying, Nirali. See, we only have like 1.5 hours, so I'll like if I extend, even if I extend it, I can go till 2 hours. So let's see what we can make in that, and don't worry, I'll at least try to create a cool looking landing page. Okay, so don't worry about it. Okay, guys, so let's get started. So last time we finished off at how to create elements. Okay, so we saw how to create div and how to perform basic CSS. We also saw what is padding, what is margin, what is border, and how you can convert an element from block to inline or to inline block. And we also understood like what is block element, what is inline element, and what is inline block element. Okay, now, today's first topic is going to be about flexboxing. So let's directly get started with that. And for that, I'm going to use the exact same page because I have already shared this to you. So I'm going to use the exact same page. So let's run this first. Okay, so let me just copy the path and get me a browser window. Okay. Okay, don't worry, Harsha. Don't worry, buddy. Don't spam the chat. I saw your doubt. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'll tell you what are meta tags. Don't worry at all. I'm going to tell you at the end what exactly are meta tags and what they do. So don't worry about it, Harsha. Please don't spam the chat, buddy. Okay, guys, so let's get started. Okay. So before moving on to Flexbox, I would like to show you something, and I would like to like show you some disadvantages of that. And then I'll tell you how Flexbox actually works. Okay, everyone. So let's get ahead. Let me remove all of this. Okay. And Let me also open the CSS and remove all of this. We don't need anything now. As I've already shared all this to you, so you have the copy of it. So you don't need to see this now. Okay. Now, let me create a div that will be full width. Okay. So let me create a div first of all. So let's create a div and let's call it like container. Okay, everyone. And now here we go. Dot container. So height is going to be like around 500 pixels. And after that, I'm going to give it a width of 100%. That means take all your parents' width. That means take all the screen's width. Okay. So width 100%. And just for now, let's give it a background color of gray. Save all of it. And let's see if we have a div that is full width. And here we go. You can see now we have a full width div. Okay. And that's cool. That looks amazing. Now, everyone, please focus. Now, what if I decide that I want to create 3 elements in this and I want to place them horizontally one by one? Okay, I want to create 3 or 4 child elements inside it and I want to like place them horizontally one by one with proper spacing. What can I do for it? Let's see. Okay, so first of all, let's create 4 elements inside it. That means 4 divs, and I'm going to give all of them same classes so that we can work on them easily. So let's get ahead. So I create a div, okay, and I give it a class of, let's say, ele, that is element. You can give any class for now. Okay, so paste, paste, paste. So I have 4 elements, simple, perfect. And we know that these all 4 are block elements. So by default, they are going to be arranged in vertical order, right? So let's write some CSS for it. So dot ele. Everyone, please focus. Just for next 10 minutes, please focus. And after that, we'll start with the project. Okay. So now let's go ahead and let's give it a width of around maybe 20%. That will be fine. And let's give it a height of around 400 pixels. And let's give it a height, a background color, not height, a background color of, let's say, red. Okay. Save it. And here we go. I can see I have 4 elements arranged vertically. They don't have any spaces. That's why they are going like this. And yeah, their height is 400 pixel. So they are definitely going to go outside the parent because it's simple, right? Parent is only 500 pixel. Perfect. So now, but I want them to be arranged horizontally, not vertically. By default, they are arranged vertically. And don't worry, Shubham. Yeah, we are also going to learn about flexboxing. Don't worry. But right now, we are seeing like, why do we need flexboxing? Like how flexbox is going to make our lives easier. That's what we have to understand here, right? So right now, we're going to apply whatever we have learned last time. Okay. So what you can do, guys, you can come to ELE and you can say, okay, fine. I don't want you to be a block element. I want you to be an inline block element. Save it. And here we go. That's it. Simple. Now they are arranged horizontally and that's perfect. But you can see that whenever you perform display inline block, there is always a little gap in between the elements. And this is with it. Like every time you give inline block, this will be the thing. Okay, now I'll tell you the reason again. I'll tell you the reason. Don't worry about it. So the reason is whenever you perform display inline block, okay, then basically browser treats it like a normal text. Browser is treating like them like a normal different words. So it is considering this a word, it is considering this a word, so browser is treating these 4 divs like 4 different words, and that's why it is giving some spaces in between them, just like you give space between 2 different words. Like for example, if you want to write the name, so you give the, then a space, then a name, right? So that space is getting considered here. So browser is treating these 4 divs like 4 different words. So whenever you perform display inline block, you're always going to have these gaps. Always going to have this gap. Now, there are a lot of ways to remove it. Either you can like move elements backwards. By that one trick, you can remove these gaps. Or you can simply go ahead and give font size 0. Right? That means whatever the element is, I want its font size to be 0. So if the browser is treating it like words, the size will become 0. So the spaces will go away. So there are 2 tricks. One is font size 0 and one is simply, what do you call, move them backwards. So these are the 2 tricks by which you can remove the gaps. But right now, we don't need to do it. Now, because this is one problem, right? Display inline block will always give you gaps and you have to do something extra to remove that gap. If you want it, you can keep it. But still, if you want to remove it, you have to do something extra. Is that clear, everyone? Are we cleared? Everyone, please tell me. Manas, line spacing is the horizontal gap, not this one, right? Line spacing is the gaps between the line, right? And also it like you can use line height for it. Is that cleared? Okay, everyone, are we cleared? Guys, please tell me, are we cleared? So you can use font size 0 property, like you can simply set font size to 0 so that you can simply remove it. That's it. Okay, so you cannot use line space, or you cannot use line height here. Okay, now we want to solve it. Like we don't want to go that extra thing. And let's talk about one more thing. Let's talk about one more thing. Okay, what if I want to move them in center? What if I want to move them in center from the top? Okay, so how I'm going to move it? What I can do is I can do one thing. I can simply go ahead and simply perform. And also, just for safety, let's go ahead and let's also give this container a display of inline block, so that it's also like an inline block element. So if in future I decrease the size of the element, like there is no problem at all. Okay, now guys, let's move ahead, and let's say I want to move these 4 elements towards the bottom. What can I do for it? I can simply use something called as margin. We have learned it, right? But we only want to apply margin from top. So I go here and I say margin top 50 pixels, because the container's height is 500. Okay, the element's height is 400. That means 100 is left. So if I move 50 pixel towards the bottom, 50 will be left for the bottom, and it will feel like the elements are in center. But we know that this is not movement. Now in this case, a 50 pixel fake size has been added to all these elements from the top. We know that, right, guys? Everyone, we know it, right? This is not actual movement. Now there is a 50 pixel extra size added on top of each like of these red elements. We know that, right? Margin is not a movement, it's a fake size. But that's perfect. At least you can see it, right? It looks like a gap. That's fine. You can also work with it. It's totally fine. Okay, and you can also move it from the left so that it again looks good. So you can like do this. For example, you can give margin left of, let's say, maybe 5%. Let's see. Okay, 5% is too much. Let's give it 4%. Okay, almost fine, right? Almost fine. Is that clear, everyone? Can we do align item center or justify item center? Not right now, Manas. No, not right now, because we have not started flexboxing it. Those are 2 properties that only work with flexboxing. So right now they will not work. Okay, guys. So this is one trick of arranging your elements horizontally. Now, till the time flexbox was not there, till the time grid was not there, this was like the basic trick that people used to use to arrange their elements. Either they were also using float for these kind of things. So either they like go for display, or they go for inline block, or they go float. Right? These were the 2 tricks back then, when there was no flexboxing, when there was no grid. But now we have flexbox, and flexboxing makes it a lot easier than this to just arrange elements like this. And we're going to see that. So don't worry about it. So everyone, are we understanding this? Guys, please tell me, is this cleared? So this is one trick you can use. It's totally fine. No, it cannot be scrolled horizontally. We are not going outside the screen, right, Dikshit? We are not going outside the screen. We have arranged everything perfectly inside the screen with proper spacing. Okay. Is 4% of the container? Yes, Vedant. Yes, exactly. Percentage will be always counted with respect to the parent. So yes, it is 4% of the parent. Okay. Now, guys, let's move ahead and let's do it in another way. And now for that, see what we're going to do. We're going to remove everything. We're going to remove the display inline block, remove it. We're going to remove the margin top, remove it. We're going to remove the margin left, remove it. Nothing special. Plain. Again, back to normal, plain. Now I'm going to use something called as flexboxing. And flex, like just for explanation, flexboxing is nothing. It's just a way of arranging and aligning your elements. Is that clear? Flexboxing is nothing. It's just a way of arranging and aligning your elements. That's why they call it flexbox. Simple, because all your boxes are flexible. You can easily arrange them vertically. You can easily arrange them horizontally. You can arrange them like in the shape you like. Okay, that's why they are called as flexboxing. Is that clear, everyone? Are we understanding this? And it's nothing. It's mere a property that we can simply use. So there are a collection of properties. There are like 4 to 5 properties that we can use to arrange elements. And it's a lot simpler than using normal inline block and then using margins and performing every operation to move them and making them like go in center and giving proper gaps. These are like headaches that you have when you work with inline block and when you have like countless elements and you have to arrange them with proper gaps. These are the headaches, using margins, using paddings, right? Moving them, arranging them. But you don't have to do all of this if you simply use the flexboxing funda. So how you do that? Let's see. So now what you do is you simply go to the parent. Now you don't go to the child. Now you don't do anything to the child, like not right now at least. Now you don't have to go to the child and give display inline block. Normally we know, right? Whenever you want to arrange a certain element, we perform inline block on the child element. So if I want this element to move in horizontal order, I'll give display inline block to that element, but not now. Now, whenever you work with flexboxing, right, you have to go to the parent element, the main box. Okay, now you have to go to the parent element and go to the parent element and simply say display flex. Go to the parent element and simply say display flex, and that's it. Now see what is going to happen here. Everyone please focus, I'm going to tell you. Here we go. All the elements are arranged in a horizontal order and there is no extra gap, right? So the problem of display inline block is like solved like just like this. Simple. Just go to the parent element and say display flex. Now your parent element has become a flex box. So now whatever child elements you put inside it, they will work like perfect flexible child boxes. They will work like that. And now they are working like that. So now your parent has become a flex box, and whatever elements you put inside it, they will work like flexible child elements. So there is no gap, there is nothing. Is that clear to everyone? And now there are really cool ways of giving them spaces, like giving them spaces and arranging them in center. So remember, display flex will always go for the parent. Now it depends on where you're trying to arrange it. So if you're trying to arrange 4 childs, you have to give display flex to the parent. Now parent can be anyone and child can be anyone. Depends on where you're using it. So everyone, are we cleared? Now we have to move ahead and we have to also learn how to give them gaps and how to arrange them. But before that, we have to learn like 2 things here. We have to focus on 2 things. Now, whenever you're working with flexboxing, you have to take care of 2 axes. You have to take care of 2 axes. Okay, because flexbox works with 2 axes, x axis and the y axis. X axis and the y axis. Remember it, guys, x axis and the y axis. Okay, so now see, whenever you perform display flex, the by default direction in which your elements are arranging is x. Okay, so that means whenever you perform display flex, whenever you say display flex, the by default axis that your elements follow is the x axis. Okay, but you can change it. You can change the direction. You can also change it so that they're following y axis. Like for example, if I want to change it, I can show you. See, if I go here in the parent again, and you have a property called as flex direction. You can say, so by default, it's the row direction. That is nothing but x. Horizontal, call it row, or call it x. Doesn't matter. Is that clear to everyone? So by default, whenever you perform display flex, the by default direction is row. That means the x. But you can change it to column. And here we go. See, now it's in column. Don't worry about the sizing. Flexbox does this. Don't worry about it right now. Flexbox does it. Flexbox decreases the size of all the elements. Flexbox shrinks all the elements so that they can be arranged inside the parent. That is what Flexbox is doing. But don't worry, all the elements are arranged. If I want to show you, I can do this. Just to explain you, let me do this. Let me give them some other classes like element 1, element 2, element 3, element 4. Okay. And now what I want to do is, and let me also give them like one ELE class to all of them. From there, they will like take the height and width. Guys, please try to understand now. I'm going to give different colors so that it's easier for you guys to understand this. Okay. And remove this background red. So I've given them all of them a ELE class and they will take height and width from here. But I want to give them colors. I want to give them different colors. So for this, I'm going to give this ELE 1 background color red. ELE 2 background color green. ELE 3 background color, let's say yellow. And ELE 4, that means element number 4, simply give it a background color of anything like blue. Okay. Now see guys, everyone please focus. See, these are all your 4 elements. But what flexboxing does is flexboxing shrinks the height or width of your element just to adjust them in the parent. But don't worry about it right now. You don't have to worry about it right now. That's just a shrinking that flexboxing does. So you can see that the height of them is 400 pixel, but still they are getting shrinked. But don't worry about that. That's what flexbox does, so that your elements are arranged in the parent. And if we want, we can change it. But don't worry about that right now. Okay. So you can see, right? You have flex direction column and you also have flex direction row. That is nothing but the default one. Even if you don't give it, elements are like this only. So even if you don't give it, elements are like this only. Okay. Fine. Now, guys, important thing. Okay. Important thing to understand. Now, whenever the flex direction is row, that means whenever the direction is following the x axis. In that case, remember, guys, x is your main axis and y is your cross axis. So whenever the flex direction is row, that means the horizontal direction, right? X direction. X is your main axis and Y is your cross axis. And whenever the flex direction is column, Y is your main axis now and X becomes your cross axis. Is that clear, everyone? You just have to remember these two things. That's it. So if the flex direction is row, so there are two axes, main axis and cross axis, but they change depending on the direction. So if the flex direction is row, X is main, Y is cross. If the flex direction is column, Y is main and X is cross. Is that clear, everyone? Are we understanding? So let me just write it down here. Direction row, so it will follow this. Okay, and if the direction is column, let's say if the direction is column, then X is your cross and Y is your main. Simple. That's what you have to understand. These two things, main and cross. Okay, I hope we are understanding this. And by default, the direction is row. Yes, default is row. Now, let's move ahead. Okay, and let's see something. So now, guys, there is a property, okay, that you again have to use it in parent. Don't worry, I'm going to tell you which properties to use in child. You don't have to worry about that right now. I'm going to tell you which properties to use in child. But right now, let's simply go here. Okay, so there's a property that you again have to use it in the parent. So there's a property called as justify content. Justify content always works with the main axis. Justify content always works with the main axis. Now, whenever people learn flags, like whenever people learn flexbox, this is the one confusion that they always have, that justify content changes. No, you just have to remember one thing. Justify content works for the main axis. So if X is main, justify content will work for X. If Y is main, justify content will work for Y. Simple. Okay. Now let's see what it is doing. So now there are few values that you can perform, like put in justify content, like this. Justify content flex end. It will simply move all your elements towards the end. Justify content flex center. Okay, it's not flex center, it's simply center. Okay, and here we go. Simplest way to move all your elements in center. Simplest way. No margins, nothings. Then, and by default, it's flex start because all your elements were at the start, right? So by default, flex start, you can also move it to flex end or center. And now, craziest things now, good things actually that you're going to always use. You have something called as space around. Let's see what it is doing. Here we go. It simply creates some around spaces and it also creates some between spaces. That's really cool, right? No margin, nothing, and all the spaces are perfectly fine. You also have space between. It simply focuses on the between spaces, not the around spaces. So now there will be no spaces around it, but in between you have proper equal spaces. And the best one that I always use is space evenly. Simple. Around spaces plus in between spaces, but they're all equal. So this is what I mostly use. Is that clear to everyone? So this is what justify content does. Single property and all that margin pain, calculation pain of how to move it and how much to move it. You don't have to take care of that. Simply arrange your elements just by using justify content. Is that clear to everyone? Nilesh, what is the confusion, buddy? Like, what do you actually want to ask? Like, do you want me to repeat how to work with justify content or what is justify content? So justify content is just a property of arranging your elements on the main axis. Is that clear? Justify content is a property of arranging your elements on the main axis, always on the main axis. Simple. So you have a lot of properties. So by default, justify content is flex start. So all your elements on the start. You can use flex end so that you can simply move all your elements at the end. See, like this. Now they are in this end. You also have like center, so that all your elements are arranged in center. Is that clear? And then finally, what I use is this space between. So you'll have like in between spaces. Oh, sorry, not this one. I use this space evenly. Sorry. We'll have even spaces everywhere, at the ends also and in between also. Is that clear? Are we cleared, everyone? Naneshwar, what is your doubt, buddy? गैप हमने गैप किया, राइट? हमने गैप कवर किया है यहां पे. आप कौन से गैप की बात कर रहे हो? ज्ञानेश्वर, आप बता सकते हो? Okay, cool. So now guys, this was on main axis, because currently our main axis is the x axis. Flex property applicable to which child? I mean, to apply flex to list items, do we need to give flex to ul? Yes, yes. If you want to apply flex to LIs, yes, you have to give it to ul. Always you're going to give display flex to the parent elements. If you want to arrange the child elements, you have to give flex to the parent element. Okay, everyone. Now let's talk about the next property, that is align items. Now, align items is the property that always works with the cross axis. In this case, it's the y axis because our flex direction is row. Okay. Now, here again, you can use this align items. Let's say center. By default, again, it's flex start. See, here we go. Arranged perfectly in center. You can also do this. Let's say flex end. Here we go. By default, it's flex start. But normally, right now, we're going to need what? Center. And that's it, done. Sorted. Simple and easiest way of arranging your grids without doing anything. Simple and easiest way of arranging your elements without doing any extra margin thing, padding thing, without doing like any calculations of how much margin to give and how to arrange. Simply sorted, done. Easy. So this is the best, like one of the best ways of arranging your elements in horizontal direction. So this is what we are going to use. Is that clear? That's why like flex boxes are so cool and easy to learn. Okay, everyone, are we cleared? ज्ञानेश्वर, अभी अगला सेशन होगा 6 तारीख को एग्जैक्टली 6 बजे. ओके ज्ञानेश्वर, जहां पे हम स्टार्ट करने वाले जावास्क्रिप्ट. Okay, so I hope everyone was asking about what about top, what about top. I hope it is cleared now, right? This is how you move on top. Simple. So everyone, are we cleared with this basic syntax of flexboxing? Everyone, please tell me. Now, if we dive deep, we have to again use a lot of time to again like learn some more. So right now, this much is fine. You can use this as your Kickstarter for flexboxing, and now you can go like on internet and you can learn the next properties that are in flexboxing. But these are the most important properties. These are the most important properties. Is that clear, everyone? What is the difference between align center and margin top center? Sarma, margin top is simply, we know that it's not movement. It's a fake size addition. Align items is actually moving it in center. It's like moving elements in the center. Is that clear, Sarma? Margin top was first of all never a movement. Okay, we were not moving the element. We were simply adding a fake size that is invisible on the top. And you have to calculate. In align items, you don't have to calculate. You simply say center. Like for example, if my height is 700, they are still in center. If my height is like 900, they are still in center of the element. But if I use margin top, if my height increases, if my parent's height increases, I have to always increase the margin top, right? Is that cleared? Does align items work with y-axis? See, in this case, align items are working with y-axis. Now, let's see one more thing. Let's change the direction now. Okay. And let me just decrease the height. Like, for example, let's say 200 pixels so that they look like this. Okay, everyone. Now, everyone, please focus. As I told you, if you change the direction. So now let me just remove these two properties and let me change the direction now. Okay. So flex direction. Now I'm going to go column. Now it's like this. Now try to understand this, guys. Now my flex direction is column. That means now X is my cross and Y is my main. That means now justify content will work for the Y axis and align items will work for the X axis. Simple. So now if I do justify content space evenly, see what will happen. Here we go. Because now it's working with the Y axis. And now align items will work with what? The X axis. So now it will work in the row direction. See? Now it's like arranging it in center in this movement. Is that cleared? So that's how it is working. Simple. So align items is always for the cross axis. Justify content is always for the main axis, but you have to understand what is main and what is cross depending on your direction. So again, I'm telling it, if flex direction is row, X is your main, Y is your cross. If flex direction is column, Y is your main and X is your cross. Is that cleared? I hope it is cleared. Everyone, are we clear with the basic concept? Bharani, what is your doubt? One more time, what? Like the definition? Or exactly what are you trying to ask here? Okay, so now I have changed the direction, and now justify content is working for Y and align items is working for X. Simple. So these are the basic properties that you'll need for right now. Okay, but now you can use this as a Kickstarter, and now you can go ahead and learn something more about flexboxing. There are some more properties like flex basis, flex grow, flex shrink, okay, align self, align item. So there are a few more properties, but now you can go ahead and learn it on your own and understand it. Because if we go in that, then again we have to use like another 10 to 15 minutes, and then our project time will be really less. Okay, so now I want you guys to go ahead and use this basics concept to learn the other properties, and they are very easy. Just like this, they are also very easy, but these were the important ones, the main ones. So I really hope that you guys understood this. Okay, so I can become very good developer in 2 months. Yes, Harsh, if you're like only like what do you say, like trying to become a like a single what do you say, either a front end developer or a back end developer, then yes, 2 months are really cool. Okay, okay everyone, so now VH, yeah, VH is also easy. If you want to like know that, I can tell you. See guys, so I'll tell you what is VH once again. So let me remove all of these things. Okay, that's fine. Actually, that's fine. Let me remove the height and width so that we only have the parent element. Here we go. Now guys, there is one more unit of giving height and width. Okay, like actually for height it is, there is something called as VH, and VH is nothing but, that stands for viewport height. That is nothing but the height of the screen that you can see. So you can see this, right? From this top to this end, this is what you call as VH, the viewport height. Okay, so if I simply go ahead and give 100 VH, that means, okay, fine, cover the whole viewport. Okay, like this. Now it is covering the whole viewport. You can see there is no scroll bar. That means it's not going down. It's simply covering the whole area that you can see at one time. Now, like, see, if I like create something else after that, that will be after that. That's fine. See, you can see it here now. VH is nothing but what? Covering the whole view area that you can see at once. The screen size, the complete screen height at once. That is what you call as VH. Is that clear, everyone? Viewport height. So 100 VH is simply like covering viewport once. 200 VH covering viewport twice. 300 VH covering viewport size thrice. 3 times the viewport height. Is that clear, everyone? But right now we are not focusing on that. So right now we'll simply go for 900 pixel. But yeah, in future, if you're trying to like, if you plan to create a div or an element that covers the whole screen at once, you can simply go for VH instead of calculating the height, because different screens have different heights. Right? If you give 900 pixel according to this screen, maybe in some laptop 900 is bigger. If you give 300, 400 according to this screen, maybe for some other desktop 400 is smaller. So instead go for VH. Now in any desktop you open it, it will always follow the viewport height of that particular desktop or that particular screen. Okay, everyone. So now guys, please tell me now, can we move ahead to the project, because we don't have a lot of time. Okay, and don't worry, for all the other things, now you can use it as a Kickstarter and you can go ahead and learn on your like learn it on your own, or you can do also one more thing. You can join our advanced courses where we learn this HTML, CSS, JavaScript, everything from the very basic. So if you wanted, you can also come here. It's totally fine, but it's totally up to you. Okay. So now, can we move ahead, everyone? Because if we indulge into CSS, we're going to use our whole time with CSS. Okay. So now guys, let's move ahead and let's start creating a very simple, good looking page by using all the things that we have learned. And in between, I'm also going to teach you some new properties as well. So don't worry about it. We still have few properties left and I'm going to teach you that as well. Okay. Does the code inside these cards will also be responsive? No, Karan, not everything. Okay. We have to make it. Is that clear, Karan? We have to make it responsive, and don't worry, because after finishing JavaScript, we are also starting with responsive design essentials. So don't worry about it. Like On 6, 7, and 8, we have JS. So from 9, we are going to have a responsive design essential. You can come there again, where we're going to learn about how to make responsive websites in CSS. Okay, guys. So now let's close this folder and let's create a new folder on desktop. Okay. So let's go ahead. Let's create a new folder. And now you guys suggest me a topic. Small topic, not a very big topic, because we're not going to make a really big thing. So you guys suggest me a topic, everyone. Everyone, please tell me. You guys suggest me a topic. What do you guys do? Like, and we don't have any backend, guys. So no data interaction, nothing. We are simply going to create a web page. Shreyansh, we can't create an online attendance system here, buddy. Are you understanding? Like, we don't have a backend, right? We are not connecting any database. We are simply creating a web page. Okay. I can see a lot of things coming for portfolio, environmental project. Portfolio. Okay. There is a lot of demand for portfolio. Okay. Let's go ahead then. Let's create a portfolio. Fine. Okay, I can see like a lot of demand for portfolio. So let's go ahead, guys, and let's create like a portfolio, a simple portfolio website. Very simple, not like very magical, because we don't know a lot of CSS. We don't know animations and JavaScript and everything. So let's go ahead and let's create a very simple portfolio website. Okay. So let's name it something. So let's name it portfolio. And remember one thing, guys, whenever you like creating a project, always name your folders in lowercase letters. Always name your folders in lowercase letter and make sure there are no spaces. So this is like one of the standards of giving names to your folders. Initially, we did capital because that was just a beginner learning, and that's fine. For learning purposes, you can give any name to folders. But whenever you're working with projects, simply go ahead and give lowercase letter names. Okay. And if you want like multiple words, give underscores. Don't like give space and give multiple names. Is that clear? Yeah, you can go for dashes, you can go for underscores. Just don't give spaces and don't write any capital letters. Okay, so in this case, I'm simply going to name it portfolio, and that's fine. Till now, we simply gave it anything because we were just learning, so that's fine. We were just like beginning all the things, right? Now, let's go ahead. Ronak is asking, what is portfolio? Ronak, portfolio is nothing but where we showcase. Like, for example, if I'm creating a website for me, like a personal portfolio. So let's say I'm creating a website for me. So I'm going to showcase all my skills there and what I have worked on and what I can work on and everything. It's like a resume, but in a good format. It's just like a resume, but in a really cool format where people can like go on the website and they can see everything about me. Is that clear? Okay, Anil, let's see if we have a time at the end. I'll explain what is after and before. We can also learn about pseudo elements, so don't worry about it. Okay, guys. So guys, everyone, let's move ahead and let's open this in VS Code. So file, open folder, open this in VS Code, and here we go. And now let's get started. Okay. So first of all, let's create a index.html file, and we only have one CSS page. So there is no need to create another file. It totally works. Like there is no need to create another folder. Okay. Because last time I saw like a comment on our previous video, someone was saying like you should always store your CSS files in some other folder. It's not like that. If you have only one single file, okay, and it's doing not a lot of thing, you can simply store it in the same folder. It's totally fine. So let's go ahead and say index.css. Okay, everyone. And yes, for storing images, I'm going to create a folder named images. You can also call it media. It's totally up to you. So let's just call it images. And okay, fine. I created a file. Let me delete it. And let's create a folder called images. And here we're going to store our images. Okay. So the basic things are done. Now, guys, let's get started. Everyone, I hope you can see everything. Let's get started. Use slider. Let's see. I don't think we're going to create a slider because we don't know that much CSS. We don't know that much CSS because at least, see, the least that we need for slider is animation, CSS animation. Even if we don't have JavaScript, the least that we need for slider is a CSS animation, and we don't know that yet. How to put an image inside container like Flipkart and Amazon? Please explain it. Don't worry, Arshad. We're going to do that. Don't worry. Now, guys, you're going to see everything. Till now, you have just learned the properties. Now you're going to learn actually how to use it, how to create cards, how to create images and everything. Now you are going to learn it. Is that clear? So everyone now please focus. So let's create a basic HTML code first, the boilerplate. And don't worry, I'll explain meta at the end. Right now, let's simply remove it. Because right now, even if you don't know it, it's totally fine. For starters, it's totally fine. Don't worry, at the end I'll explain what exactly is meta. Let's go in the title and let's simply call it portfolio. Okay. So I'm going to show you how to create a nav bar. I'm going to show you how to create a simple banner. And I'm also going to show you how to create different cards, and we'll create about us section and finally the footer section. So these are the things that we'll do. Our portfolio will not be really big. Okay. We'll simply have what you call as a nav bar, then a banner in which I'll write some description and highlight something. And then we'll have a section where we'll display like what are the things that I provide. And after that, we can simply go for about us, and that's it. Done. Okay, guys. Yes, Sudhanshu. From 9th of August, sorry, it's not, it's, yeah, from 9th of September, we're actually going to start with responsive design. So there, I'm going to show you how to make things responsive. Okay, and let's also link the CSS, guys. So link it, link relation equals style sheet, and hyperlink reference is index.css. Okay, so the basic things are done. And also in the CSS, let's do the basic thing, that is asterisk that we always do, right? Margin 0 pixel and padding 0 pixel. Okay, everyone, now please focus. Now we're going to do a lot of things. So I'm going to create things now. So you have to focus. So let's run this page. So copy the path, go in your web page, paste it, and here we go. We have a really cool looking white page. And now we can move ahead. So everyone, now let's focus and let's start creating a simple nav bar. Is that clear, everyone? Okay. So now let's get ahead. So first of all, I'm simply going to create a div. Okay. And we can simply like call it like a navigation. And then let's say navigation. Now there are a lot of ways. There are literally a lot of ways of creating your layout. Okay. But in this case, we're going to make it like really simple so that you like right now you guys are beginners, right? So I'm not going to make this layout too complicated by creating a lot of different elements and everything. Okay. Right now we're going to make like keep it simple and clean so that everything is understandable for you. And then from there, you can build up and understand the future things as well, the next level things as well. But right now, I'm simply going to keep this layout as simple and as clean as possible. Okay, so minimal use of elements, minimal use of CSS, and making everything look good so that every one of you, even all the new ones, can understand things. Okay, so navigation, let's go ahead, give it a height of 60 pixels, give it a width of 100%, and background color gray. And everyone, just once tell me, are you guys with me? Are we understanding everything till now? Let me just confirm it once. Everyone, please answer me. Are we understanding everything till now? Okay, so now we have created a navigation element div, and then for that we simply given a height of 60, width of 100%, and background color of gray. And if you go in the browser now, you should see a simple bar, and that's cool. Now let's get ahead and let's put up a logo inside it. Okay, let's put up a logo inside it. And in this case, I'm not going to use an image for logo. I'm simply going to use like anything for our logo, so it's totally fine. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's give it a class of logo. Okay. Okay, Sagar, that's fine. Yeah. Okay, fine. Okay, guys. So now let's move ahead. So now we have created a logo div inside a navigation element. Okay, inside the navigation div. So let's go ahead. So dot logo. Okay. Let's give it a width of like 10%, or you can give it like 15%. And guys, right now we're not focusing on responsiveness. We are simply creating it for desktop. That's it. So background color yellow, and like we can give any color for now. We just want to see it. And also why we are writing in both HTML and CSS, because we want to apply CSS, right? Harsh Ranjan, we also want to apply CSS, right? That's why. So height exactly same as the parent, that is 60 pixel. Save it, and here we go. You can see it now, right, everyone? Easy, simple. Okay. Now what I want is I want to create one more div inside it that is simply going to hold the nav element. Okay, now guys, see here, if you want, you can create a nav element. If you want it according to the like standards, you can go ahead and create a nav element, and you can also like give it a class then, which is again simply going to create a section for you. That's it. It's again going to create a simple section for you. So let's use it. Otherwise, you can also use div. It's totally fine. So either you can use the nav element or you can use a div element. Both are going to create the same thing at the end for you. So it's totally up to you what do you want to use here. Is that clear, everyone? It's totally up to you. So let's use a nav, and you can see that it's going to create the same thing as well. I go here and write dot nav. Let's give it a width of like 20% or maybe 30%, and let's give it a height of exactly same like 60 pixel and a background color of blue. You can see that it's also creating a simple div element. That's it, nothing else. A simple div element. Is that clear, everyone? That's it, nothing else, nothing much more. Okay, now what I want is I want one more thing. Okay, let me just remove it for some time. Actually, I want to do something else as well here. What I want is I want to create an element here, and I'm going to call it container. I've commented all the other elements. I'm going to call it container, and see what I'm doing, guys. Everyone, see everyone. Now let's go here and let's write container. See everything, everyone. Please focus on everything. Let's give it a width of 80%. Let's give it a height of 60 pixel. Let's give it a background color of red for now. Save it, and here we go. We have it. Now you guys tell me, from whatever we have learned, how to move this red element in the center. What can we do here? Guys, come on, tell me. How can we move this element in the center? What can we do here? Can anyone tell me what do we have to do here? Guys, come on. And I want to use flex boxing. So tell me the properties that I can use. We only need two properties. So what can I do? Align. Yes. First, I have to go to the parent, that is the gray element, the navigation. We have to simply give it display of flex. And then we have to go to the container. Okay, no, actually we don't have to go to the container, to the parent only. And currently the direction is row. No, guys, we don't have to use a line item. What is the by default direction, guys? By default direction is what? Row. So we have to use like justify content, because currently justify content is working for the row, the main axis. And currently the main axis is your what? The row, the X axis. So justify content center. And here we go. Now it is in center. Don't forget, guys, justify content works with the main axis and align items work with the cross axis. So here we can't use align items because the by default direction is row, right? And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create these two elements, the nav and this, inside the container actually. So I wanted them inside the container. That's why I did this. Okay, simple. I wanted both these elements inside the container. Simple. And let me just keep, yeah, here we go. Okay, and now inside this, I'm going to have these two elements, right? So first a gray element, then a red element, and then inside that I have these two elements. Now again, I want to arrange them horizontally, right, everyone? A lot of people are still saying align item center. Guys, we don't have to use align items, right? The by default direction is what? Row, and we want to move it in the row direction. So why to use align items? The direction is row. That means the main axis is X axis. So we have to use justify content because we want to work on the main axis, right, everyone? Now again, guys, I want to arrange both of them horizontally. They are going vertical because they are block elements. So what can I do? Now I have to go to the parent of these two elements. I have to go to the parent of these two elements. That is the yellow element and the blue element. That is nothing but, who is the parent? The red element, the container. So we can go to the container again, and we can also give the container a display of flex. Why do we have to go for inline block, guys? We just learned flex boxing, right? So again, we can go to the container and say display flex. So now the two elements should be arranged in the horizontal order. Simple, easy as that. And one thing that I want is, I also want justify content to be space between, so that there is a gap between them. So one is in the left side, one is in the right side. And this is what I wanted. Logo to be on the left and the navigation part to be on the right. And now if you want, you can simply comment out the color. So simply comment out it. And there we go. Now we, like, you cannot see the container. It's there, but you cannot see it. That's it. It's there, but you cannot see it, and it looks like, okay, fine, you have a logo div and you have a navigation div. Is that clear, everyone? Now let's work with the logo. Okay, so we'll go inside the logo. We'll put up a p tag there, or you can use the h1. It's totally up to you. You can put up a p tag. Normally you're going to use an image for logo, but right now I'm going to use a text. Okay, so I'm going to use a p tag, and I'm going to write, let's say we're creating a site for Tom Hardy. Let's say Tom Hardy, something like that. Okay, here we have the text. Now let's arrange it. Let's go to logo. Let's give it a font size of like 40 pixel. And then let's use like, okay, we can actually give it display flex. Okay, and again, say justify content center so that it comes in center. And to vertically center it, what we can use? Align items, because it's the cross axis. So again, center. So the text will be in center from like horizontally as well as vertically, because it's inside a p tag. So simple as that. There's 3 properties to arrange everything in center. And also font family, let's use Sijo UI. And let's see, here we go. And you can also make it bold if you want. So font weight bold. Yes, you can also use that, Suraj. It's totally fine, buddy. You can also use text line center. It's totally fine. I just use flexible boxes. That's it. Just to like show you it, like show this to you once more, how we were actually using flex boxing. Okay, that's it. You can also go for text line center. It's totally fine. It is totally fine. Exactly. You can simply remove the justify content and you can simply use text line center. But that will align the text in center. Right now, we align the whole P element in center. Text line will only work for the text. Right now, we aligned the whole P element in center. Is that cleared? By using justify content. Because see, it's a P element. We aligned the whole P element in the center, not only the text. Text line will only move the text. Okay, so now we have the logo ready, the basic form of logo. That's fine. You can use the image here. It's totally up to you. Now let's create the nav. Okay. So everyone, please focus now. Now we are moving to the nav, and to the nav, I'm going to give it a little more width. So let's give it 35%, like this. And let's also give it yellow so that we can see everything, because on blue we cannot see the text color, right? Yellow again. That's fine. Now everyone, please focus. What I'm going to inside nav. So I'm going to go inside nav. I'm going to give a UL here, and then a bunch of LIs. So LI, paste, paste, paste. Let's say we have 4 of them. That's fine. So let's call it like home. Okay, let's call it like movies, because these are the movies I have done, something like that. I'm simply assuming that we are creating a portfolio for Tom Hardy. Think of it like that. He's an actor. I hope everyone knows that. Okay, and movies, and let's say about him. Okay, and let's say what else we can have. What else we can have about him? So movies, about, and we can have like franchises that he works for. So let's simply have like franchisee, something like that. So we can like arrange it. Okay, that's fine. Let's go ahead. As I told in the start, only sing with A. I told it, right? I'm just trying to make it simple. Yes, in future, when you learn more about it, you can definitely go for higher level elements like section and everything, so that your page is arranged properly. Right now, as I told you, I simply want you guys to understand how the basic CSS and HTMLs are interacting and working. That's why I'm not going for like any high, because a lot of people here, they like right now they are beginners, so they don't know a lot about CSS and HTML. So that's why right now I'm keeping it simple and using basic elements, using the minimal elements that I can use. But yes, in future you can definitely go for section tags and header tags and footer tags. Definitely you can go for it. Okay, and don't worry, we also learn it. When you come to the advanced courses, we learn it like that. But here we are making it simple, because we want to understand, like I want you guys to understand the HTML and CSS basics of it. Okay, so we have the 4 things, guys, you can see here. And now let's work with it. First of all, let's give it a class of let's say navlinks, and let's give all of them a class of nav-link, something like that. So navlinks, and then inside that you have navlink. All of them give nav link. Oh, I'm so sorry. I actually copied everything. That's fine. Home movies, about, and franchisee. Franchisee. I hope the spelling is correct. I don't know. You guys tell me. The spelling is correct. Okay. Cool. It's fine. Now let's go ahead. Let's write dot nav hyphen links. And you can write here like, okay, fine. Here you can say, like, just put a comment here, navigation CSS. Just put a comment like this so that it's easier for you guys to understand. Fine. This is like the navigation CSS. Okay. You can like say, fine, this is the logo CSS, something like that. So it's easier to understand the code. So I'm simply commenting the things. Okay. So this is like the navigation CSS now. So nav links. Okay. First thing is I'm going to give display of flex. And also to the nav link, I don't want the dots, right? I don't want that bullet points. So for that, I'm simply going to write list dash style dash type none, which will simply remove the bullet points. That's it. Save it. Now they should be arranged horizontally. Here we go. Now they are horizontally arranged and the dots are also gone. Because to the parent, we gave display flex. That is nothing but who? The UL. We gave UL and also we got this. Yeah. We removed it actually by mistake. Okay, so to the UL, we gave display flex so that all the LIs are arranged horizontally. And we also said list dash style dash type none so that simply the dots are removed. Now, what I want is I want to give them a height. So let's give it a height of 60 pixel, exactly same as parent. And let's also give them a width of 25%. So because there are four elements, right, everyone? There are four LIs. Okay, so they are 25. If they take 25% width, so they will take the 100% of the parent. Simple, right? So for each and every LI, I'm giving a width of 25% so that they simply complete the 100% of the parent. Four elements, 25%, that means simply complete 100%. And also, let me give them background color of red for now. Save it, and here we go. All of them are there, and they have actually covered the whole yellow element. That is, they have completely covered the parent by using 100% of the width. Each one of it, it's 25%. Now, again, the first thing I want is text align center. Here we go. Now I also want to align the text vertically. So for that, I can increase the line height. You can simply go ahead line height and give it say exactly same as the height of the element so that the text is arranged, like text is aligned vertically in center. Here we go. Perfectly fine. So line height 60 pixel. We simply increased the height of the line exactly same as the height of the element. So basically the text is in the center of the line and it makes you feel like the text is in the center of the element. Whatever is the line height, the text will always be in the center of the line height. So if the line height is 100 pixel, text will still be in the center. That's how line height works. I just wanted to like give you a explanation about it. That's it. Now, again, font family, I'm simply going to give like Cjo UI. Here we go. And that's it. Now I can remove the red. I can remove the yellow. Why are you not using? Because see, inside nav link, I have text directly, right? I don't have any element. Sidhu, try to understand. Inside li, I directly have text. So I cannot like use display flex or something like that. Are you understanding? Inside li, I directly have the text. I don't have any other element on which I can apply the flexboxing things. Even if I give display flex to li, how will the text will be aligned? Because it's simple text. It's not like an element. It's a simple text. And actually, even if it works, you don't have to use it. You simply have this text line, right? Because it's a simple text. It's not an element, right? So you can simply work with text align. That's fine. Here, there was no need of making a li as flexbox. And now, here we go. This is how it looks. And don't worry, in future, we'll just give it more better color. But that's fine for now. That's fine for now. Is that cleared? Sidhu, what? No. What is your confusion, buddy? Simply think. This is li. And inside that, you have text. There's no need to give justify content or anything, right? Because we didn't make li as flexbox. UL is flexbox. right? UL is flex box, so LIs are arranged in that order. But LI is not a flex box. LI is a simple element which is containing text. So no need to use flex boxing just for a simple task. Simple text line center, that's it. Is that clear, Sidhu? Okay. So no need to use flex boxing here. Simple plain CSS. Use flex boxing wherever it is required. Don't like just use it everywhere. Don't do that. Wherever things are getting sorted simply, don't use big things there. Okay. So now guys, the navigation is done and you can see we have it. Now I also want to apply a hover effect on it. So when I hover, I want to change the color. Can we use color palette for different colors? Yes, why not? Obviously you can use it. Obviously. Right now I'm just using any colors that comes to my mind. But yes, in future, you can definitely go for it. We don't have a lot of time actually to follow any palette. So right now I'm simply going to use colors that are coming in my mind. Okay. So now guys, I want to apply hover effects. So basically when I hover on it, I want to change the color. That's what I want to do. How to do that? Let's do it. First of all, before that, I'm simply going to say cursor pointer. That means if I take my mouse on you, I want the hand symbol, the pointer symbol. Let's see if it is working. Here we go. Now we don't get the text icon. We get the hand icon. So that's one cool thing. And one more thing I want to do here is I want to apply hover on my nav link so that if I take my mouse on the nav link, it should change colors. So let's do it. Simple. Simply write nav link. And then if I hover on you, what I want to do, I simply want to change the background color. Let's say for now, just some dummy purpose. Let's say I simply convert, like change background color to white. That's it. Save it. And let's see if it is working. And here we go. See, now the hover works. And if I hover, if I take my mouse on it, color simply changes to white. So this is how you perform hover effect. Simple. On whatever element you want to perform hover, write that element, colon hover. Hover is nothing but a pseudo class. That's it. It's a simple pseudo class. So when this will only work when you hover on that element. So now whenever I take my mouse on the navlink element, this will be applied. Otherwise, this will normally work. But when I take the mouse on the navlink, this will get applied. That's what is the meaning of hover. Hover stands for hand over. Simple. And here we go. It's working. Is that clear, everyone? And don't worry, in future we'll add some good colors here. Right now, leave it like that. In some time, we'll give it a good color depending on the site. Right now, let's leave it. Okay, everyone. Now, let's create the next section, that is the banner. So let's go outside the navigation part now. Okay, let's actually give some comments here. Like this was the navigation. Okay. And now let's go after this. And now let's say here we are creating the banner part. Okay. Now let's go ahead and put div. Give it a class of banner. Okay. And here also, let me just put a comment. This is now banner CSS dot banner. Okay, fine. Let's give it a height of around 600 pixels maybe. And let's give it a width of around 100%. Not around, actually 100%. That's fine. And also let's give it a background color. I forgot. So let's give it a background color of, for now, let's simply say blue. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry about it right now. Just give it blue. And here we have a blue container. Okay, don't worry. We'll change it. Don't worry. Right now it's looking bad. I know that. Let's say I want to give like 700 pixels of height. Yeah, this is cool. Now let's go ahead and download an image. Okay, that we'll put there. So Tom Hardy, let's say HD Venom, something like that wallpaper. Like we can put any banner of Tom Hardy or any famous movie of him. So let's see if we get a good wallpaper from here, a good horizontal wallpaper from here. That will be fine. This looks good. Can we take it? But it is very big. Okay, no, not right now, Karan. Not right now. We're not focusing on responsive. And this is this is also like really big, but let me just search Google for this image. Let's see if we can find any more sizes here. Okay, we have a small size. Let's see what is the small size. This is big. This is also big. This is fine. Okay, this is fine actually. This is something we can take. But yeah, I think this is we can take. This is something we can take. So let's go ahead. Let's download it. You can use any image. It's totally up to you. I'm using any dummy image, guys. So it's totally up to you. Let me see some other images. This is more wide, right? But this is like very small. Let's take this one only. That's fine. Okay. Let's take this one. Here we can write I am Tom Hardy, something like that, and we can like make it look good. Okay. So save image as, and let's just go in your portfolio inside your images and store it there. So let's call it banner hyphen img. Okay. So banner hyphen img, save it. And now guys, let's go ahead. And now I'm not going to use image tag to put my image. Here, I'm not going to use image tag to put my image. I'm going to use something else because I want to show you some really cool stuff here. Okay. So I'm not going to use image tag. What I'm going to use is, see this. I'm going to use a background image property that we have available in CSS. I'm going to use a background image property to put image inside that div. Is that clear, everyone? I'm going to use a background image property. So background image, then you have a URL, and inside that you can simply do this dot slash images slash, just like you put your images. That's it. Simple. Let's see if the image is coming there. And here we go. Don't worry, I'm going to show you how to adjust this. But now, guys, please try to understand. This is a background image. Okay. So I have used a background image property to put images there. This is the background image. That means, what is the good thing about this? That means now your banner div is technically empty. That means you have not put any element in your banner div, right? Because right now this image is working as a background. Now that image is not working as an element. Now that image that you can see here, there, it's not working like an image element. It's simply a background image. It's a background, just like a background color. That means the best part now, if I write anything inside banner, see guys, everyone, it will come on top of the banner. You can, I hope you can see it here, right? Everyone, see, it comes on the image. This thing comes on the image. If you don't use, like, if you like simply use image tag, you have to adjust this text on the image by using positions and stuff. But if you use background image, you don't have to adjust it. The text directly comes on the image, because right now this image is not an element. It's simply a background image, just like a background color. That's it. So that's the benefit of using background image. You can simply put anything on that image. You don't have to use positions to do that. You can simply put anything on that image. But right now this image is not perfectly adjusted. So one thing I want to do is I want to increase the height of the banner. Okay. So let's first of all make it 800 pixels. Here we go, like this, so that at least we can see the main parts of this thing. Or let me just make it 900 actually. Yeah, this is also fine. Okay. Actually not 900. You can, guys, arrange it according to you, but that's fine. Okay, 850 is fine. And now what I want is I want this image to cover it properly. You can see it here. This image is ending here. And once the background image ends, it simply repeats itself. You can see the image is ending here. The first image is ending here. So just to cover the whole element, it's repeating. I don't want that. I want the single image to cover whole element. So for that, you can simply go ahead and write background size cover. It's simply like width 100% of the image. And here we go. Now the single image covers everything. And that's what I wanted. Is that clear, everyone? Sidhu, don't worry, buddy. If we get time at the end, I'll definitely explain how positions works. Don't worry about it, buddy. Don't worry about it at all. Okay, everyone? So here we go. We have it. And now actually, I want to increase the size of the header a little. So let's go there and let's increase it. Let's make it like 80 pixels. We have to increase it everywhere. 80 here as well. Can we use background repeat? Yes, definitely. But here we don't need it right now because we have covered it, right? But yes, you can definitely use background repeat. But still, if you use background repeat, that means the repetition will go away, but that space will still be there, right? But that space will still be there. That's the issue. Yeah, but you can definitely go for it so that in future, if the size increases, yeah, you can definitely go for it so that it stops repeating itself. So you can simply say background repeat, no repeat, so that it simply doesn't repeat itself. But that's fine. We already covered it. So even if it is repeating, we can't see it right now. And now we increase the size of the header. And also, I have to change the line height, right? I forgot to change the line height so that it's in center. And here we go. Perfect. Now we have it and it looks good. And actually, if we want, I think I should only focus on the eyes part, not the face part. Let's see. What if I simply give it like 700? Let me only focus. Yeah, that's fine. And you can also do this. You can move the image up a little like this. Background position, let's say bottom, because I want to see the bottom part of the image, not the top part of the image. Let's see. And here we go. Now we have the bottom part, but actually not this. Let's use background position center. And here we go. This is fine. You can see the main parts now. So this is actually really cool. So simply say background position center and the image comes in the proper center. And that's fine. That's cool. Now let's move ahead. And now let's go inside the banner, remove the Tom Hardy and create one more section. Let's call it banner underscore section. Okay. Now let's move ahead. Dot banner underscore section. Okay. Actually, we are using hyphen things, right? Let's use hyphen here as well because we are following hyphen trick, nav links and everything. So let's use hyphen simply. You can follow underscores as well. That's totally fine. Okay. So banner section. Let me give it a height of 400 pixels. Let me give it a width of around 40%. And let's give it a background color of white so that we can see it at least. So let's give it a background color of white. Let's see if we can see it. Here we go. It's on the image. That's the best part, right? It's on the image. Okay. And now let's move it. So again, we can go to the banner and we can say it like, okay, fine. I want you to have a display of flex and I want to arrange this element vertically in the center. So now it's vertically. So I can use what? Align items because currently the direction is row. Align item center. And here we go. Now it's in center. And I also want to move it a little here on the right. So for that, we're not going to use justify content. We can simply use margin. So let's simply use margin left because we want the left gap. So margin left of 100 pixels like so. And here we go. Or we can simply make it like 200 pixels. And here we go. Perfectly fine. Or let's not use pixels. Let's use percentages then, right? Let's go for 10%. And perfect. So now we have it. And now inside this, we can write whatever we want. Okay. So let's go ahead and I'm simply going to write a simple text like I'm Tom Hardy. You can add anything, or you can simply write like Tom Hardy, and then you can make it like look good. Let's go ahead. Let's write it down. Font size of 100 pixels. Font weight of bold. Font family. Now, guys, you can use any good font family. I'm using simple, like very simple. What do you call plain font family? You can use anything that looks good. Here we go. And now again, and also let me do one thing. Let me put it inside a P so that I can use flexboxing to arrange it. Or you can actually use a H1 here, but that's fine. We are still like writing some CSS. Okay. So justify, not justify actually. First of all, display flex and justify content center so that the P comes in center. Here we go. Also align items center. Now after looking at this, we see that there is no need of this much height. So you can reduce the height actually. Let's reduce the height to 200 pixels. Okay. And now guys, everyone, we don't want this white color. So simply comment it out like this. But we don't want it in black color, this text. So you can simply go ahead and change the color white. Here we go, like this. Now it's totally up to you. Whatever you want to write here, whatever you want to do here, you can totally do it. Is that clear? So I just showed you, but you can make it look even more better. Okay. Like for example, let's create a button there. Let's just create a button there. Actually, let's not create a P directly. Okay, so fine, let's create a button like this. Click to view profile, something like that. Whatever you want to write. Change color of Hardy only, it look good. Yeah. Okay, you want that thing? Yeah, you can do that as well. Now, first of all, see guys, these two things are coming in which direction, guys? Because the flex direction is row, so these two things are getting arranged as a flex box. But I want them to be one below each other. So now I have to change the direction first of all. So I have to go here and I say flex direction column because I want them to be arranged vertically. And that's it. Perfectly fine. And because both of these things are center, so they are working perfectly fine. Right? So column so that they can be arranged vertically. Now let's style the button. So I've given it a class of btn dot btn. Okay, let's give it a padding. So padding padding top of 10 pixel, padding bottom of 10 pixel. Okay, and then padding left of like 20 pixels, padding right of 20 pixel, and let's see how the button is looking right now. Here we go. At least now it's big. That's what we wanted, right? Increase the font size. So font size of 20 pixel maybe. Not 20 actually. Let's give it 18. And I want the whole text to be in uppercase of this click to view profile. So you can simply perform text transform uppercase. Here we go, like this. Okay, perfect. And I want a little more height. So let's add a padding. Having doubt from many days, why should we use more division to divide every section of the blog? No, you can use anything. Normally what we do is for the parent things, for the main sections, like for to decide a section, we use a section tag. And for internal elements, for normal elements, we go for div. Is that clear, Sima? So for main elements, like for example, let's say we're creating a banner. So we go for a section. Right now, actually, in this case, we should have gone for a section. But I'm trying to make it simple. I'm trying to keep it simple. Like in this case, if you want, see, even if you want, you can simply convert it to section. Doesn't matter, right? Because both of them give you same output at the end. They have different meanings. They have different standards. People like told us, like people tell us to like use them for different reasons, but that's still fine. Like if you want, you can call it section. See, just for like this parent things or just to specify something like fine, this section is for navigation, this section is for banner, you simply use section tag. And for internal things, for small things, okay, you can simply go for what, div. See, everything works perfectly fine, still same, nothing changes. Section and div are going to give you same output wise both are same, but you use section when you're creating like a big container in which you're going to put some meaningful content. Okay, fine, inside this I'm going to put banner content, inside this I'm going to put navigation content, and for internal things you can use div. Is that clear, Simha? That's it. That's the whole logic that you have to understand here. So section, when you're defining a section, for example, okay, fine, this is the banner section, inside this everything is going to be banner. This is navigation section, inside this everything is going to relate to the navigation part. And internally for small things you can go for div. Where can I learn those standards? I think you can understand it on W3 schools, or you can simply search for W3C HTML standards and you can learn it there as well. It's totally fine. Is it clear, Bhaskara? Just go and just search for W3C standards and it works. Okay. Okay, everyone. So this is what we can use section for. I was just trying to keep it simple so that you don't get confused, but that's fine. Here we go. Section. It's totally same. At the end, output is same. It's just where to use it. That you have to keep it in your mind for good readability. That's it. Okay. That's great, Ravisa. That's great, buddy. Thank you so much for joining in. Okay, guys. So now button is there. Now let's color this button. It's not looking that great. So let's color this. And let's color it red because it's like Venom theme, right? So let's color it red. Can we also add set padding for all in one line? Yes, Karan, you can do it. Yes, it's totally fine. You can do it. Okay. So now, guys, first of all, yeah. Let me just say like 15 maybe from top and bottom, 15. I'm doing it so that it's more understandable to you guys. That's why I'm doing it everything separately, so that there is no confusion right now. Okay, now what I want is I want to remove the border from it. So border none. Okay, so border is none. And now guys, I'm going to show you how to make the border circular. How to make the borders circular. That means they should be not sharp. How to do that? For that, you have a property called as border radius. That's it. Let's give it 10 pixel. You can see now the sharp ends are now circular. So you can simply use the border radius property and now see it's circular. So 10 pixel is fine, right? So border radius 10 pixel and that's it. On the borders now, there is a 10 pixel circle formation, but that's fine. You don't have to go in that deep. Just understand that border radius is removing the sharp ends. That's it. And if you increase the size of border radius, the circle things will increase and it will become much more circular. Like this, for example, say if I say 30 pixel, see this, it becomes much more circular. But I want 10, so let me keep it 10. Okay, and now if you want, you can like see it is still looking good, but if you want, you can give it a background color. So like you can try it actually. So let's for now give it a background color of red, but I know that it will not look good, obviously. Not looking at all good. So let's just go right click on it, inspect, where you can see the elements. Go here, you have the same CSS. Now what you can do is guys, see, click on this and you can have a color picker here. And now choose a good color according to like whatever you want. So let's say we need this. This is a good color. Not red, not very red, not the direct red. At least a tint of red. At least it's a shade of red, not a tint of red. It's a shade of red. So let's use the shade of red. Copy it. Go here instead of red, paste the hex code. And that's it. How to make the button transparent? It's again simple if you want to make it. Very simple. And guys, one more thing I want to do is I want to change the color to white. And here we go. Like this, you can do this. And also give a cursor of pointer so that whenever I go on that, I get this pointer thing. That's it. Simple. Is that clear, everyone? Guys, are we understanding this? Please tell me. So you can use this button. Now, if you want, you can make it transparent. For transparency, guys, what you have to do is simply give background color as transparent. You can simply give background color transparent. And here we go. Now it's transparent. Now you can give borders to it so that you can see the button at least. Now you can't see it like a button because the background color is transparent. But currently, I'm not planning to make it transparent. But yeah, someone asked, right, how to make it transparent. So simply give background color transparent. That's fine. Okay, now everyone, banner is done. Okay. You also want hover effect? Let's do it. Just like nav. Copy it, paste it, hover, and let's again take a color for this. Right click, inspect. Let's take a different shade. Let's take a different shade for hover color. So let's say we go for a lighter shade on hover. So copy this lighter shade. And on hover, I want the background color to be this lighter shade. That's it. Save it. Now let's see. And here we go. Can you guys see it? Can you guys see the hover effect? Is it visible in the browser? Let me see. Yeah, it's visible. I can also see the browser. It is visible. And here we go. So now we also have the hover effect. That's it. So now guys, the banner is pretty much done. Now see, if you want, we can do a lot of things. We can literally make it look the best, like at least one of the best sites. But right now, this is fine. Let's move ahead and let's learn how to create cards. Okay, everyone. And also, now let's just do this. Where is our, yeah, remove the yellow from the logo. Remove the gray from the background. Or you can actually, should we make it black? Header? Should we make the header black? Let's see. Because we are following the Venom theme, right? So let's make it black. Let's make the color as white. So let's give logo color as white. Color as white. Like this. And also for the navigation, for the nav link, I want the color to be white. Like this. But now when I hover, the color turns white, right? Sorry, the background color turns white. So we cannot see the color. So for that, what you can do is, you can say, when I hover, the color should be turned to black. On the navigation, when I hover, the color should be black. And that's it. Sorted. See it now? When I hover, the background turns white, but the color turns black. And by that, you can see the hover now. So guys, now the header is almost looking good. Black is actually looking good. So now we have the header part, we have the banner part, and now we can move ahead and create all the other things as well. Okay. And see guys, you can improve this. You can work on this and improve it and make it look much more better. But right now it's fine. Now let's move ahead. Okay. Let's go. And let's again say now this is my film section, whatever I have done till now. Okay. So let's call it like films section. Okay, let's again, I'm going to use a section tag because it's my main section, which is going to group the related content. No, currently the header is not sticky, Karan. No, currently the header is not sticky, buddy. Let's give it a class of films or projects, whatever you want to call it. Let's call it films and let's move ahead. Films CSS. Everyone, please focus. Now things are going to get a little complicated because till now we are creating single things. Now we're going to create multiple things. So everyone, please, please, please focus now. Okay. So now let's go ahead and let's say dot films. First of all, now I'm not going to give it any height. Okay. Sir, how we know these quotation like background color? Like how do you know the properties? By practicing, Shubham. Like I know these properties because I have practiced it a lot, because I create sites like almost regularly. So that's how I remember these properties. So to know it, you have to practice it. And don't worry, these are easy properties. You can remember it. So don't worry about it. Okay. So now guys, I'm not going to give any height here. Okay. I'm simply going to give padding top. Now height will depend on the child content. Okay. So I'm not giving any height here. So padding top of 50 pixels, padding bottom of 50 pixels, and a background color of gray. Now, as you can see, whatever you see here, this gray element, it is not having a real height. Currently, this gray element is only having padding. The thing that you see here is the fake size. So I'm giving height as 0. But when I create elements inside it, the height will grow. That's the benefit. That's what I want. The height of this element should depend on the child. That's why I'm only giving it a padding. You can see here now in the box model C. There's only width and into 0. That means there is no height. There's only padding that you can see. So the height will depend on the content. For example, see, if I put any content inside it, let's say I put some content. Okay, now see, the height will grow depending on the content. See now, there is a 18 pixel height because I put some content, and height basically grows depending on the content. So if you give height 0, or basically if you don't give any height, if the height is 0 by default, so whenever you put some content, the height will grow. That's why I'm simply giving padding for some buffer at the top, at the bottom, and the height of that element will depend on the content. Okay, yes, you can use both, Purnima. Yes, definitely you can use both. Okay. Okay, so now this is not the content that we want to put there. We want to put some cool content there. So first of all, let's go ahead and let's create a div inside it. Let's call it films underscore container. Everyone, please focus now. We're going to have a lot of elements, so things might get a little confusing. So please, please, please focus. Everyone, please focus. Films container. Okay. So dot films underscore container. Okay. Now I'm going to give a height to this. Okay. Did I give underscore or hyphen there? Because I'm using hyphen in this whole project, right? So let's not like waste the format. Let's use hyphen here as well, and hyphen here as well. Okay. Now let's give this a height. So height of let's say for now 50 pixels, and a width of again 80%, and a background color of red. Oh, why do I always get background position? Background color of red. And we go. So you can see it, right? The height of the element is growing because of this red element. But that's fine. Now the height of the gray area will always grow depending on the child. And currently the child is what? Films container. So that's fine. Now you guys tell me again one more question. How to move this red element in center? Come on, guys, tell me everyone. How to move this red element in center of that gray element? What can I do for it? Everyone tell me. What can I do for it? Guys? No align items. Why align items? Karan, why do we have to use align items, buddy? Align items currently, if I give display flex here to the films, so the direction is row, right? The direction is row. So I have to use what? Justify content, not align items, right? Because the direction is row. The main axis is your x axis, and here we go. Now it's in center. And now again, I don't want to give this film containers any height. I don't want to give this film containers any height. That means again, the film container's height will depend upon the elements that I create inside it. So that's fine. See again, you cannot see that because now the film container is not having any height. If you want, you can give a padding top and bottom just to see it. Padding top of 10 pixels, padding bottom of 10 pixels. At least you can see it now. There is no height. Again, the height of this film containers depends on whatever child I create inside it. So now let's get ahead and let's start creating things. And one more thing on top of it. Now, yeah, now guys, there is one more thing. Now let's say I create a H1 here. Just think of it. I create a H1 here, okay? And I say my movies, something like that. Okay, everyone, my movies, and here we go. Now it's flex. That's why my movies and the red element are side by side because the direction is row. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the direction to column. So flex direction. Column. And as soon as I change the direction to column, that means now we cannot use justify content for center purposes horizontally because my flex direction is column. That means now y is my main axis. So if y is my main axis, justify content will work for y. But I want to arrange them horizontally. I want to center them horizontally. So in this case, we have to go for what? Align items center. So that they're both in center. No need to use Nikhil Talokar, no need to use margin, right, buddy? Because we have the flex boxing. So no need to use margin. No need to use margin. Is that clear? But yeah, there are some places that you're definitely going to use margin. See, for things like this, for arranging things, for moving them in center, you can use flex boxing. But yes, now see, if I want to move this to a little bottom, let's say I want to move this red div a little towards the bottom, then yeah, definitely we have to go for margin now. So let's say margin top 30 pixels so that we can get that movement from the top like this. That cleared? So everyone, are we clear till now? Everyone, please tell me once. Explain flexbox in detail, please. Shoaib, I did it at the start, buddy. So what you can do is you can like rewatch the video from the start. In the start only, we covered all about flexboxing. Is that clear, Shoaib? Okay. So let's give it a class of title because I want to style it like a good title. Title and title. Font size of 30 pixel. And font family of, again, I'm going to use the same thing. I'm just keeping it simple, guys. You can use some really cool fonts here if you want. Like this, my movies. Now I have this, my movies, right? Perfect. That's fine. Okay. Now, let's go inside the film container. Then let's create the other things. That means the cards. So let's go ahead. Let's create a div. Let's give this class of film hyphen card. Okay. So dot film hyphen card with a width of, let's say, 20%. Maybe 22% will also be fine. And give it a height of around 400 pixels. And give it a background color of, let's say, yellow. Now here we go. Oh, why can't I see it? Oh, sorry. Again, position, color. Yes, Saurabh, don't worry, buddy. We are going to cover media queries. We are going to cover media queries, but not today. On 9th. From 9th, we are starting with responsive web design. And there, I'm going to teach you about media queries. So now, guys, you can see, I have not given any height to the gray element. I have not given any height to the red element. I have only given height to the yellow element. But because of the height of yellow element, the red element is growing. And because of the height of the red element and the child's, the gray element is growing. So if you don't give height, the height of the element depends on the child. Okay, and that's what I'm following because I don't want to take care of the height for this and this. I only have to take care of the height of my original cards. That's it. Is that cleared, everyone? Now, that much is fine. I think you can also increase it a little more. Let's give it like 450. Okay. Now, is it a way to make responsive not using height? You don't make heights responsive basically. Sometimes like you normally don't work with heights when you're working with responsiveness. Okay. What are you going to cover today? We're going to complete this page. That's what we're going to do. Because from the last 3 days, we were learning about HTML and CSS. So today we are going to complete this page. This is the last thing. We are completing this project. Okay. Sir, website project with and without Bootstrap, which was more valuable? Both are fine. Both are fine. Bootstrap is just like some CSS. Bootstrap is just a CSS library. So both are fine. Both are valuable. It's not like which one is valuable. Both are fine. Okay. Now, guys, let's move ahead. So inside the film card, what I'm going to do is inside the film card, I'm going to create one more div. Okay. And I'm going to give it a class of film hyphen image. I'm going to give it a, or I think I should do something really cool. Okay, guys, you guys tell me, do you want me to make it look normal or do you want me to make it look really cool? What do you guys like? What do you guys want? You tell me. Should I make it normal like image, text, button, or should I make it look really cool? What do you guys want? You guys tell me, then I'll do that. Cool, right? Let's do it. Let's not make it normal. Remove everything. Okay, so yellow div is there. Now let's go and get some image. And now I'm not going to download images. Now I am not going to download image. I'm simply going to use online image URLs just to save time. If you want, you can also download it. Okay, so Tom Hardy image. Revenant is one of the movies he did. So or one of my favorites. Let me take Dunkirk. So Dunkirk movie poster, something like that. So just search for poster and you'll get a good image. So from here, I think this image, yeah, this is good. So we can take this one, right? This is, but it's really big actually. No, this is not good. This is fine, but it has white spaces all around it. We can take this one actually. So let's take this one. So right click, copy the image address. Okay, I'm not downloading it, but you can just download it and use it. You know how to use it. And again, I'll go here. Okay. And one more thing, guys, I'm going to give it one more class like card1. Okay, I'm going to give it one more class like card1. So card-1, something like this. Card-1, so that I can apply some other CSS with this class. So let's go and give dot card-1 background image URL this image address. So basically what I did is I'm not downloading the image, I'm directly using the URL. But if you want, you know, I used it for the banner, right? You can download it and then use it. It's totally up to you. Save it. Now it's really big image, so it's going outside. So let's cover it first. So you can just come to this film card, which is like the common CSS, and give it like background size cover. And let's see. And here we go. The poster looks perfectly fine. Now I want to create some more film cards. So copy. Oh, first of all, let's complete it. Okay, let's complete it completely first. Now inside this, what I want to do is I want to create one more card, and I want to give it a class of film hyphen detail. Sir, when you use image URL, it will run when I offline. No, Gaurav, nobody. No, then it should be online because you're getting your image from the internet, right? That's why you should download it. But that's fine. Right now, it's totally up to you. Okay, but yeah, if you have internet, it will work. So don't use online images if you're offline. Yeah, and yeah, we forgot to give all to the image, right? That's a good thing. Actually, we are not using image tag, so no need of alt. Saying I thought I'm using image at the banner. No need of alt. We are not using image tag anywhere, right? Why do we need alt? Okay. Now, guys, let's move ahead. Everyone, let's move ahead. And here we go. Film detail. See what I'm going to do now. Everyone, please focus. Dot film hyphen detail. Please, everyone, focus now. I want everyone to focus here. Film detail. Okay. I want to give it a height of around half. So that is Okay, I have 450, right? So what is half of 450? It is 225 pixel. So 225 pixel is the height. Width is 100%. And background color is going to be black. Okay. So for black, what I'm going to do is, see everyone, for black, what I'm going to do is, should I use black or something else? Yeah, you can go for black. So for black, I'm not going to use the black directly. I'm going to use RGB for black. Okay. So I'm going to use RGB for black. So if you simply put 0 red, 0 green, 0 blue, it is again black. So RGB 000 is black. Why I did this? Because someone is asking how to use RGB. So you can simply use RGB like this. So RGB 000, that is red 0, green 0, blue 0, and it simply gives you black. If all of them are 255, it will give you white. And if you maintain something, you'll get red, reddish color, greenish color, bluish color, or any other color in the world by mixing it. But right now I'm keeping all of them 0. So I get black like this. See, I wanted something like this. I want it in the downside, not on the top side. So for that, what I'm going to do is, I'll simply go in the film card. I'll say display flex because I want to arrange the child. Then align items, flex end so that it comes to the bottom. And here we go. Now it's to the bottom. So that's what I wanted. Now it is on the bottom. Is that clear, everyone? Okay. Yes, don't worry, Shubham. Don't worry. Let's go step by step, right? We have to go step by step. Right, Shubham? So let's just wait. We'll go step by step. We'll do everything. Don't worry. Okay. Now, guys, inside this, you can add all the content. So first of all, let's create a div inside it, which will simply hold some padding. Okay. So let's create a div that will hold some padding. So let's call it a class of pad. So inside this, I'm creating a div which will have no height, no width. So it will be 100%, 100% by default. And height will depend on the child elements, but the width will be 100% by default. And what it will do is, it is simply going to give some padding. That's it. So dot padding of 20 pixel, so that the text and everything starts from a little side, not directly from the corner. So I simply have a div of pad, and inside this now you can have h1, give a movie name. So let's say Dunkirk, something like that. And what else we can give? You can give a button on which you can simply put like watch now, something like that. Whatever you want. See? And also to this one, let's give it a class. So I want to give it a class, and let's give it a class of movie title or film title. So film hyphen title dot film hyphen title. I'm going to give it color white, and I'm going to give, don't worry guys, don't worry, just wait for some time. We have to go step by step, right everyone? Don't worry. Whatever you are expecting, I'm going to do everything. Don't worry at all. Don't worry. I'll show you something really cool. Don't worry. Okay. Oh, sorry, font. So bad. Family. Okay. And also, I want to give font size. So sorry for that. So font size of 30 pixels, maybe. Okay, perfect. And also, to that button, you can simply go ahead and give a class of BTN. And BTN class is already having some CSS. So the CSS will be applied by default like this. Right? Perfectly fine. And now you can have some gap there actually. So what I can do is I can go to film detail. Should I give it a pad or film detail? I'm just thinking about it. I think you should make it a little more bigger. Let's give it 40 pixel like this. And I'm thinking, yeah, I think it is looking fine, not bad. Like going according to the theme actually. So not at all bad. Okay, that's fine. Cool. Dunkirk, watch now. That's fine. And also now, finally, I want to add a here, which stands for alpha. Okay. And then here, what you can do, guys, see now, here you can just come here, give a alpha. And then now remember, alpha is nothing but transparency of the color. Okay. And now 0 is like completely transparent. 1 is like completely visible. So I can go like 0.5 and I can make it like a transparent thing. 0.5 is little more. Let's give it 0.7. Here, now you have this bar here. Can you see everyone? Guys, can you see this? It is transparent. You have a black color and it is transparent like this. Okay. And now I want to create multiple cards like this. So now we have completed one card. Simply copy it, paste, paste, paste. Now 4 cards. Let's go. Now they are arranged vertically. So we have to arrange them horizontally, right? So which is the parent for film card? Films container. So let's go to films container and let's give it display of flex. Like this. And also for the gaps, we can have justify content center. Oh, sorry, not center. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Space between. I wanted this actually. Here we go, like this. And now if you want, you can remove the red. You can remove the gray. And it will look like this. See? You can remove the red. It will remove the. You can remove the gray, and it will look like this. Now you can change the poster. So let's quickly change the posters. So the other movie that Tom Hardy is in is Revenant. Okay, so let's simply go for Revenant. Movie poster. Oh, why it is not searching? Okay. So let's go ahead and let's take, yeah, this poster is fine. We can take this one, but it's like having the title. We don't want the title here on the top. Let's take a good image. Which one we can take? Let's search for something like this without title. You're gonna get? No, we still get the same thing. But that's fine. That's fine. I'm thinking of actually there are no good posters here. Why? Why is that? Every poster is looking like edited and looking bad. Let's take this one, the first one. That's fine. Right click, copy image address. Go in here. Now, also, I forgot that now just give this a car like class of card2 so that you can give a different background image. Give this a class of card3. He's not in Revenant. Are you sure, Shubham? Have you watched it, buddy? Are you sure? Have you watched it? I have watched it and he's there. So you should again watch it. I think he's there in. He's there, Shubham. He's there. Tom Hardy is there. Who was the antagonist in the movie? Who was against Leonardo? Do you remember that? Who was telling them to like leave the person behind if they can't travel? Who was that? Remember that, buddy? So let's go for card2 and let's go ahead and let's use the background image again. Okay, let's copy the image address and let's paste it. Okay, perfect. Another movie. So now we have card3 and card4. I'm giving them this card3, card4 classes just to give them separate background images. So see everyone, they all have a film card class which is giving them width, height and everything, but they also have card1, card2 class so that I can give them different background images. So let's go for card number 3 now and let's use another image. So now we can use what? You can go for Batman, right? The Dark Knight Rises. In which part he was, guys? Third one, right? What was it was the Dark Knight Rises, right? He was Bane in that, right? Yeah, he was in there. So you can see the Bane's photo here now. So yeah, perfect. So let's take this one. This is looking really cool. Right click, copy image address. And finally, let's go for card number 4 and one more movie, guys. Come on, tell me one more movie of Tom Hardy. Now I know a few, but I don't want to use the Venom one. And which one we can use, guys? Come on, tell me one more movie of Tom Hardy. Come on, everyone. One more movie. You guys tell me now. Everyone, yes, one of the best. One of the best of Tom Hardy. I was expecting it, but that's amazing. Yeah, one of the best. So let's go for it. Yeah, this is a really cool poster, right? Right click, copy image address, paste, save it, and now our site should look good. And here we go. Now you can see we have different posters, but now the problem is we don't have different names. So let's go ahead and give different names first. Okay. So first one is Dunkirk. Next one is Revenant. So let's simply go and write the Revenant. Third one is Dark Knight Rises. So let's go ahead. Dark Knight Rises like this. And then we have Mad Max Fury Road. Mad Max Fury Road. And here we go, like this. Perfectly fine. So is that cleared, everyone? Guys, tell me, are we cleared with this? Yes, Inception is one. We can take that. Why not? Yes, you can create one more card for Inception. Let's do it. If I create one more card, see first of all what happens. If I create one more card, see what happens here. Because it's a flex box, it is trying to adjust everything in a single line, right? It's trying to like shrink every element and trying to adjust everything in the single element. So if we don't need this, if you don't want things to like happen like this, what you can do is you can simply go in your film container, and here you can apply one property, flex wrap, so that they wrap. Okay, and here we go, like this. Perfectly fine. Is that clear, everyone? Because they were not wrapping, so it was trying to adjust everything in a single line. So now it's not doing that. So flex wrap, and that's it, sorted. And also to the film cards, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a margin bottom. So let's give it a margin bottom of 20 pixels so that we can have gap here like this. This much gap is fine, I feel. Or you can give like 30 pixel. That's also fine. Okay, perfect. And yeah, which one name? Inception, right? So let's go ahead. Inception poster. Leo Cillian and Tom Hardy they have worked in a lot of movies together. That's amazing, actually. Let's take this one. This looks really cool. Right click, copy image address, come here, and now it should have card 5, right? So let's go ahead and put it card 5, and let's give it an image. And also let's change the name first so that we don't have to come back here. Inception. Oh, sorry. Inception. Come here. Got card number 5. Background image, URL, this image. Oh, sorry, wrong page. Here we go. Inception. That's cool. That's what we wanted, right? Now, let's do the last thing that I want to do here. Really cool thing, actually. And also, I want to like decrease the opacity a little more. So 8. That's fine. So black looks good. Now, guys, see what I'm going to do now. Okay, everyone, please focus. What I'm going to do is when I hover on film detail. So when I say film detail, when I hover on you, I want you to take the exact same height as the parent. I want you to take the exact same height as the parent. That is 450 pixels. So I want you to become 450 pixel in height when I hover. So height 450 pixels. This is what I want you to do. Okay. And also it should be like, it should not be like fast. It should be slow. The change in height should be slow. So for that, you can come to the film detail and give it a transition. So give a transition of 0.4 second. That means now from 225 get till 450, it will take around 4.4 seconds of time. So it will be slow. It will not be like in clicks. It will be slow. So from 225 to grow till 450, it will take a little time of 0.4 seconds. Let's see. And also, forgot, cursor pointer. Let's see. And here we go. Can you guys see, everyone, how it is working? Just by using normal CSS, you can do this. See, everyone? Are we understanding this, guys? So this is how you can create a good looking movie section like this. Now you can again work on the header a little bit more to make it look like make it like more good, make it look more better. Like you have to like work on the header a little bit more, but this much is fine. Okay, is that clear, everyone? Yeah, typical mall. Yeah, it will be a little tough, right? If you create a lot of things, if you create like hundreds of elements and try to do a lot of things, yeah, it will be a little tough. But yeah, once you understand everything, once you learn everything, these things are really simple. The code just grows, and growing code doesn't mean it is becoming harder. It is just you have to read things properly, separately, and it's still easy. Is that cleared? Okay, so growing code never means it's getting tough. Growing code only means it's getting bigger. You have to read it properly. That's it. So everyone, are we understanding this, guys? Please tell me. Have you understood this? Everyone? Guys? And now we are almost about time. So we only have one section left. That is the About Us section. I think, can you guys do it? Everyone? Can you create a good looking section, like just a section in the bottom and just put some really normal text there for About Us? Everyone? Guys, please tell me. Please link to HTML pages using button. Simple, you simply have to pass a on this, a link on this, click on here, and that's it. You can go. Like for example, let's say we search for Tom Hardy's IMDb profile. Let's search for it. Tom Hardy IMDb profile. Search for that. Okay, everyone. Search for it. Here we go. This is now Tom Hardy's IMDb profile. Let it open. Okay. So this is Tom Hardy's IMDb profile, right, everyone? Now, see what I'm going to do. Take this link, go in your site, go on the top button. Where is that? Oh, sorry, it's here. Okay. Just go on this button. Okay. Now, on this button, put a tag. That is anchor tag. That is which is basically used to link things. Just put a tag on this button, on top of this button. Now, this button is inside this a tag, and just go inside this a tag, put a href, and put this link. Oh, sorry, I didn't copy it. Copy this link and just put it there. That's it. Save it. And now if I click on this button, see, we go to Tom Hardy's IMDb profile. But the problem is our page goes away. Our page goes away. I don't want that. I want the Tom Hardy's profile to open in next page. So for that, you can just go in a tag and put target blank. Simple. Just use target blank and it will open it on the new page. Here we go. On a new tab. So your tab is still there, and here we go. Tom Hardy's profile. So everyone, are we cleared? Sir, can you please say easy controls to code fast at the end of the session? Buddy, see, there are like extensions that can help you. There are few tricks that can help you. But again, to code fast, you'll only need practice. 90% of it is like practice. That's it. You have to practice. The more you code, the more you do, the more your speed will increase. Like even I take a break. If I take a break, like let's say I take a break of 2 months and I come back, I like have a tough time dealing with this keyboard. So that happens. I have a tough time reading the code. I have a tough time writing the code. So actually, it's all about your continuous practice. That's it. Coding fast, coding logically perfect. It's all about the continuous practice. That's it. These files will be shared to you guys. Don't worry. These files will be shared to you. All of this will be shared to you. And I would love to see that if you guys make this header look a little more better. Okay. Now, don't worry. I'll tell you meta. Don't worry, guys. I'll tell you meta. I'll tell you the meta thing. But now listen to this thing. I want you guys to create the exact same page as your assignment. You can make it look a little more better. You can choose any other actor. You can change accordingly. Just try to make this like same theme, but you can like take any other actor, any movies. It's totally up to you. But this is what you have to make as your assignment, and you can enhance it. You can make it look much more better if you want. We didn't have time, but you have time. You have 2 days, you have 3 days, so you can make it look much more better. And I also want one more section, an about us section. Is that clear? So after this section, I want you guys to add one more section, that is the about us section. Is that cleared, everyone? And right now, guys, we're like almost about time. The session time was 7:30. We are almost at 8:03. So we can't do anything like more after this. But I want you guys to create the about us section. Bharni, if you simply say target blank, that means I want to open that link in a new tab. Is that clear, Bharni? If you want to open a link in the new tab, you simply use target blank. Okay. Yes, Maxim, almost every week. So from the next week, from the 6th of September, we are starting with JavaScript essentials. So we're going to start with JavaScript from 6th. So from 6th, 7th, 8th, we're going to have JS essential. And after that, 9, 10, and 11, we're going to have responsive design. Is that cleared? And yes, someone was asking about meta tags, right? So I'm going to tell you what are meta tags. So meta tags are nothing. They simply represent metadata. They simply represent extra information related to your website. Metadata simply represents extra information related to your website. For example, what kind of character set your website is using, what kind of width your website is following, what kind of keywords your website has, if some search engine was to search it. So meta tag basically hold extra information related to your web page. Is that clear, Harshavardhan, buddy? Meta tag simply hold extra information related to your web page. For example, let's say I create a meta tag. Okay, and I'm creating this meta for search engines. I'm creating this extra information for search engines. So you have two things. You have name and you have content. So if I put name as keyword, okay, so if I put name as keywords, and inside this content now, I can define a lot of keywords like this. Let's say Google, Facebook, Tom Hardy, movies. So if someone goes on Google or goes on any search engine and search for keywords like this, so by reading this meta, the search engine will understand for which keywords we should search this page. We should display this page as a result. So this is to help the search engines. So meta tags are nothing but a way of holding extra information for different perspectives in your web page. Now this meta is holding the keyword information that a search engine will refer to. There is some other meta that holds the width, what do you call extra data, width data that different devices refer to. There's a meta tag that holds the character set information. So meta basically holds extra information related to web pages for different things. Okay, I hope it is cleared. Right now we don't need it, but yeah, meta is very important at the time of deployment. Okay, right now we don't need it. Yes, there is also a response. There is also a meta tag for responsiveness, and that is we'll see when we start with the responsiveness side. Okay, so everyone, that's it for today. I really hope that you guys enjoyed everything. So please let me know in the chat, guys, did you enjoy it or not? Okay, I really hope that you learned something new. I really hope that you learned something actually. Okay, and that's it for today. And now I'll see you directly on 6th in the JavaScript course. So I want all of you to register for the JavaScript course. Go on the LetsUpgrade.in site and register for the JavaScript course. Okay, and I'll see all of you in the JavaScript course. So everyone, I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. I really hope that you learned something. Please let me in the chat. And that's it for today. All these files will be shared to you in your mail and in the community group. So don't worry, all these files will be shared to you. Is that clear, everyone? And don't worry, Shoaib, I talked about PHP to my team. So we are also planning like for a PHP session in near future. Not current, like not just right now. Maybe in near future, we are also planning for a PHP essential. So I've heard your request and I've told it to the team. So yeah, we are planning for it. Don't worry. Yes, Sonali, yes. For PHPs only, like for PHP only, we are planning for an essential in some near future. So don't worry about it. Okay, everyone. So that's it for today. Thank you so much. I really hope that you understood the basics of HTML and CSS. And if you want to learn more, if you want to learn in like all these things in deep and create much more projects with me, you can join our advanced sessions where we simply make you hero from zero. where we start from scratch and end up creating 15 to 20 projects in our practice and learn everything, so that at the end you can simply become a developer. Or you can also use these basics to learn things on your own. It's totally up to you. If you want to join, you can join here and learn with us. Come to us, join and learn with us. Is that clear, everyone? So that's it. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye bye. Good night. See you directly on 6th of September with JavaScript. I want everyone to be there. Bye bye, everyone. Good night. See you.